your trip to Philadelphia was eventful.
Oh my God. I can't even begin to say. That was probably the best night of my career, hands down. The people I was around, the amount I learned, just the wealth of knowledge that was backstage of that show was just unexplainable. And I'm very lucky to have that opportunity. Uh wow. I don't know where to begin.
Mhm. So that was kind of in the works for a little while. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
why it was a late announcement? I know Goldie was your opponent. Like, did you always know who you were facing, or
I
you
had
just
no
knew?
idea.
Okay.
I had no idea of anything. They just hit me up and said, "Hey, Vinny, are you available this day?" I said, "Yes, I am." And that was that. Um, it was late, but I have no. I don't know. It could have been stuff could happen behind the scenes that I don't know about. But they called me about a month prior. Um, it was it. It's crazy. It's an eventful. It was an eventful month because I had the Kurt Angle podcast happened. Well, first I announced Alex Shelley. Then I had the Kurt Angle podcast announcement, I believe, the next week or 3 days later.
Mhm.
And then I got hit up by New Japan once but I don't know if it correlated, but the timing of everything also all together was just so beautiful. And then G Fuel signing me to a contract with their energy drink brand, which is crazy too, just to happen all at once.
Yeah. Uh, the last time we recorded, we've stayed in touch, since then. But when we
Yeah.
first recorded, you were with another brand. I had said, you know, I like G Fuel peach rings. Like I found that when I was on another road trip. So now you're a G Fuel guy. So my appreciation for it's genuine. I'm not blowing smoke up your
Isn't that
ass.
crazy how that works?
Yeah.
Um, so I was at Bang, and I got hit up, and they said we are ending contracts with all of our influencers and our sponsors, athletes. And I was like, holy shit. Because, when you already have a sponsorship and you're doing all these really cool things with a brand, you don't want to go from that to nothing, you know?
Mhm.
And I was already in talks with G Fuel before then. So I hit up the CEO of G Fuel. We reconnected. We talked for a bit. And he's like, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And someone else called me the next day, one of their agents or managers, talent managers, and that was it. We got it going. They are a lot, I'll be honest, they are a lot more invested in my career, what I do. And they also share my stuff, which is pretty cool. Um, Also, I mean, that's also, I feel like it goes hand in hand with sponsorship, but none of my other sponsors done that before. And their brand is so big. They have on Instagram, they literally just clipped up my New Japan spot. I did a spot with New Japan in the match where I got the drink it, and hooked up, and had my comeback, which is awesome. And G Fuel loved it. They DM'd me. They were like, "Oh my god, we're gonna clip this up, make a meme out of it, and just post it." And it blew up my Instagram. My Instagram is still getting likes and comments like to this day. It's been 24 hours at least, but it's still getting likes and comments and shares and stuff on Instagram. They have such a huge brand of just different fans, like superhero fans, anime fans, sport fans, wrestling fans. Just there's so much different fandoms in that one brand of G Fuel. Gamer fans.
Mhm.
So it's just so cool how all of that comes together. Like Bang was more of a brand, I would say, branded towards athletes, models, that type of deal. But G Fuel is literally a broad of everything, and I love it.
Yeah. I mentioned the Sonic the Hedgehog was one of the cans that I've seen. Like
Mm-hmm.
Crash Bandicoot. I don't want to get it wrong, but it was maybe Minecraft or one of those other games.
Pac
Fortnite.
Man.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't remember all of them. I know specifically I could say Sonic and Crash Bandicoot were on them.
Mm-hmm.
So you know it is gamer centric. Obviously, with you
Mm-hmm.
as a wrestler. Um, I mean, have you pitched getting like your own can or something, or like
That has been
your own
discussed.
flavor?
That has been discussed as a
Mhm.
possibility down the line. It's more just like this is a new thing they're going with. Wrestling. They haven't done wrestling much, so this is new. This is something new for them, and I hope I'm doing a good job so far. You know,
Mhm.
I do these promos. You've seen them where I just whatever the drink. So I went from a change. I just changed the brand of the drink to G Fuel, which is cool. Um, but regardless of what brand I'm with, I will always be doing those promos. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But G Fuel really enjoys them. But yeah, so I mean, I guess as I grow and I grow my brands and just wherever I go wrestling, like whether it's like New Japan, AEW, ROH, Impact, whatever Impact, any company I work for, and my name just grows and grows, I
Mhm.
think G Fuel will be more inclined to give me my own drink
Mhm.
because they see growth, and I
Yeah.
think that's very important to any brand that has somebody sponsored on their team. In my
Yeah.
opinion, it's my opinion.
I had to look it up because it was kind of driving me nuts. You mentioned Pac-Man, but I was thinking of Spyro. I don't
There's
know why.
Spiral, right? The
Yeah.
purple guy.
Yeah. I don't
I
know
had
why I
him.
said
I had that
Fortnite,
one. Mm-hmm.
but that was the other one. So there's some fun stuff going on with
Naruto.
G Fuel.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a card game. I don't know much about it, so I know some wrestlers like use it as an inspiration, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the lore, so
Neither do I.
I don't
But
want to
there
get
is a
in
Naruto flavor too.
I don't want to get in trouble with anybody.
Not me either. Yeah, but there's a lot of different really good flavors. Like there's Sonic, this Knuckles. Knuckles
Mhm.
is the one I used on New Japan, and there are fans actually commenting, "Oh, he used the Knuckles drink for this spot." It was
Yeah.
really cool. Um, Again, I'm very blessed and I'm very lucky for these things to happen all so close together, all at once. You know,
Mhm.
like I said, I announced my Alex Shelley match. Kurt Angle podcast just happens. Bobby Fish wrestling Bobby Fish match gets announced. G Fuel signs me in the same week. Like it just everything happened so quick that week, and I just didn't know what to even think about it. And I did say to myself before everything happened, I'm like, I'm gonna make like, but after the Alex Shelley match was announced and the Bobby Fish match was announced, and the Kurt Angle podcast was booked for that Thursday, I said I'm gonna get this sponsorship. I have to. This is something I need to get, this G Fuel sponsorship. And I said I'm gonna get that sponsorship, and it happened. You know, so like all these things just happened so quickly and so together that it was just such a really crazy. It's crazy to see the dreams that you have manifest right in front of your face as it happened.
Well, I'm glad that's happening, and I think you put it in the right context. I do want to talk about Alex Shelley, FWE, on September 10th. That you alluded to was kind of like the first domino to fall.
Yeah.
Now that the match is closer, how are you feeling going into it? He's still the Impact World Champion. He had a big weekend in Philadelphia too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you did you stick around for the
Yeah.
second night? Okay.
No, the first night I saw him, but I did stick
Okay.
around, talk to him.
Okay.
Great dude. As everyone knows, he's a phenomenal person, which is very important in wrestling. But uh, he is, yeah, like I said, the first domino to fall, like that match announced. I was like, holy shit, this is gonna happen. And he's been a dream match of mine for a while.
Mhm.
Um, my cardio, I'm focusing heavily on cardio workouts, and a lot of agility stuff. I went to the gym today. I trained legs. I did 20 minutes of cardio prior to my workout. I trained legs very hard. I barely was able to walk. I was cramping up leaving, and I did cardio after my workout. It's a lot of it's cardio because it's just wrestling is nonstop. I say this along with soccer and basketball. You don't stop.
Mhm.
You start and you just don't stop. You keep going and going. Like football, I play football too. You reset, take a minute, you call your play, you go to the lineup, and you don't even have time to breathe. Wrestling, you don't stop. Even when you do stop, you don't stop. You know, so it's just I'm centering my cardio towards matches and how matches are done rather than just straight up cardio. I also do Standmaster. So Alex Shelley, this match I'm prepping for this match is a lot of cardio and a lot of tape study.
He was on both nights. I asked because I knew Multiverse was the second night, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you saw him on Saturday night, is it just like, oh, hey, how you doing? We're working together next week, or did you like pick his brain at all?
Picked his brain for like we talked before, like over the phone and stuff, and like Twitter and stuff. We chit chat, and so I picked his brain on a few things. He was very giving in the sense of teaching me different stretches, which is something that wrestlers, like I said, I believe wrestlers need to really work on is stretching before their matches or warming up, because I've had a few injuries, small injuries, but things that happened in my career where they like it could have been avoided with stretching. Like early on, like when I was like 16, 17, I had these small injuries that happened, and like my lower back, something happened when I was like 17. And if I just took the time to stretch and do these things, it would have been avoided. Now that I'm a little older, 23, 24 years old, it's I stretch every match, yoga, and I feel great. I feel phenomenal. So like Alex Shelley's very giving in the sense that he does PT, so he teaches you different stretches, taught me different ways of getting my muscles relaxed and stuff like that. And yeah, I pick his brain. He's a great mind to pick.
Yeah, everybody says a lot about his in-ring work, but I think more people should maybe be aware of what he does on that, the healthcare
Yes.
aspect, like not only just, going and doing that as a career, but also helping his fellow wrestler. I think there's a lot
It's
to
a
be
beautiful
said about
thing.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like he said, there's not enough. Like I've heard it's not like I think he's something where along the lines of like he saw wrestlers need this help, and I'm gonna be the one to do it. So that's just a
Yeah,
beautiful thing. It's to take that initiative and go into school and learn this stuff to help other wrestlers. It's such a beautiful thing. It's just I look at that and I'm like, wow, my thing is I want to help others as well. I love helping people. I love being able to give give back any way I can. I always give credit to people who trained me. I always give credit to people who have helped me along the way, and try to help out people. For example, like Cheeseburger trained me. He has new students now. I try to always help his students out whenever I can. Get them booked. Get him booked. If he's off for a weekend or whatever. So it's just I always try to give back to people who've done a lot for me. I believe that's very important.
absolutely. What else you got going on coming up? We talked, a little bit about Alex Shelley, Bobby Fish. I think you teased some other announcements.
There's some more stuff going on. Something I can't mention, but one thing I can mention is G Fuel and I are in talks to do a possible commercial.
Cool.
Yeah, that's just something that I would love. I would just that's crazy. There's a lot more things. Like I said, can't mention some of them, but things I can mention are G Fuel. There's more to come with G Fuel. A lot more with that. Wrestling Bobby Fish. 23rd of September at Pro Wrestling Magic on IWTV. You could watch that live. Um, I'm wrestling in the Bronx 9-8 against Chris Barton 9-9. I'm going to the Northwest, and then 9-10. I'm flying back from the Northwest to North Carolina to wrestle Alex Shelley. So it's a very busy month, and then I got to plan a bachelor party. So it's a lot of busy stuff going on. And hey, I think busy is good. I like being busy.
Yeah. What's that saying about idle hands? Or the
What
devil's
what is it?
tools?
What is that saying?
Idle hands are the devil's tools, or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I think I got most of it right.
Yeah.
So all right, obviously a lot going on. We haven't even talked about some of your social media promos yet. Give me some matches or maybe specific promos that you've put out there that fans should watch, maybe to sort of get what you're all about.
Oh my god. Literally, I don't know how this started. I think it started. So I've done them with Gangrel. I've done them with EC3. I've done them with Chesson McKenzie. Matt Seidel. Uh, there's so many people. There's Darius Carter, Sonny Kiss.
Mhm.
Trying to
Trying to
think of
think of the
more.
last one I just watched.
I did a few. I did a few with Gangrel. He is all about it. He's actually given me a
Mhm.
lot of advice regarding this energy drink stuff, and he's one of the people who has told me before G Fuel, he said to me, "Get a company to sponsor you,"
Mhm.
and that was something I had like at the time. That was something I had in my mind, but not something that I really tried for. And then January, I believe it was January 7th. I had January 7th or 8th. I had a match in Oregon. Did a dope spot, and then out of nowhere, I get hit up by Bang 3 days later on email. So it's just it's crazy, but he was always supportive of that and always really pushing me and always down to do these promos with me. Angelina Love and
That's
Fodder,
yeah. That
that
was
was a fun one. It's just it's hard. Some people get it, and some people just like, oh, what do you mean by that? How do you, like? Because it's just for me, it's just content to grow my character, get people out there. There's some people I did them with that weren't really known as much, like newer people. And after that, they said, hey Vinny, I gained like 20 followers from it, and I'm like, that's awesome, you know. So if I can help people out doing that and getting eyes on them for that, it's great. Um, Ever since G Fuel's been sharing them as well, has been a lot of engagement with that. Like their fans, like the G Fuel fans, will like make funny memes of me and stuff. It's really cool.
mm.
But yeah, so I've done really cool ones lately. What was one of them I did recently that I really liked? Matt Brannigan, one of them. Uh, who else? I've done so many. It's just how
Yeah.
do I forget? Jaden Newman, Hokey, um, Cheeseburger, Red Titus, a lot of people, and they're all really fun. They're all very easy. They're like 1 minute easy things to do, you
Mhm.
know. And I just love doing them. And again, I think that it's helped me a lot in growing my character and growing my fan base and growing my name, as well as just things I'm able to post and just because listen, wrestling, a lot of wrestling social media. That's something that Effie is. Oh, Effie too. I did two with Effie.
Mm.
Effie is somebody who's always told me social media is everything. And that's true. It really is. But you got to put a lot into your wrestling ability and be a good wrestler. But having a good social media following, having a good social media content to post, and taking care of that aspect of wrestling is very important.
The I can't remember his Rolando, the guy that beat
Oh
Matt
my God.
Cardona in NWA.
Yes, Rolando Perez.
Yeah. That I that was the one that I saw, I think last. But
Yeah,
that one was really good.
love that one. It was just that one was so easy. Actually, I tell you what, very rarely. I mean, it's been more often than not lately. But he had the idea of doing that one of that type of promo, and like of what we did. So yeah, it's like it's cool to see people getting invested and being like, "Damn, I want to do this with you," and they asked me to do it, or they had their own idea ready for me, and like I don't gotta think about it. They just have a good idea, we'll go with it, you know. But a lot of the time, it's not even talked about. We just on the fly.
I mentioned he's worked with Matt Cardona. You called out Matt earlier in the year.
I have.
Any headway with that? Like you called out the indie god.
He said something like, "Someone book it," and but
Nobody
no one
booked it.
did.
Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a match that I would love to have as well. Like he is somebody I've looked up to for a very long time, not only because of his wrestling and his promo ability, mostly because of his promo wrestling ability, but he also has a lot of the same interests I have. He likes Star Wars, Ghostbusters, all these Indiana Jones. Like I love these things too. You know what I mean? I'm a big kid, you know, so it's like that'd be cool to wrestle him because of he has the same interests as me in real life.
Maybe it happens. He said somebody book it, so
Yeah,
we're waiting on the bookers.
we are.
Anything else you want to cover before we get out of here? I know we covered some of
We
your
covered a lot.
stuff. Yeah. Most of the stuff we can talk about. So
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Vinny Pacifico. Follow me on Twitter at Vinny Pacifico1, and Facebook is good old Vinny Pacifico. And stay tuned to G Fuel, my promos that I've been doing, and my matches that I'm having.